In this morning's Digital Dive, you may see the hashtag Blackout Day 2020 trending on social media. Today, many Black Americans and people of color are planning to not spend any money unless it's at a Black-owned business or store. Now, the idea behind Blackout Day is to show politicians and business leaders the economic impact Black Americans and people of color have, in hopes of ending racist policies and practices that have led to the deaths of Black Americans. Social media personality and activist Calvin Martyr introduced this idea back in May in this video that's now been shared thousands of times. Martyr says in the video, the only way we're going to get change is when they fear hurting us like we fear hurting them.
If we get enough black people, all black people, if we could unite like they did in Montgomery, Alabama, where not one single black person rode a bus. That right there is what caused the civil rights legislation to come, because they touched them pockets. Because they said, we're not spending our money in your system no more until we get change.
According to their website, blackoutday.org, Black people alone account for an estimated $1.2 trillion or more of spending in the economy annually. Organizers are hoping this call to action will finally bring systemic racism to the forefront and spark some much-needed change in America. Another big topic that has hundreds of you talking online this morning is this question we've seen countless times brought up into the newsroom. What can I do to help, or how can white people begin their anti-racism work? Well, Sarah Bellamy of Penumbra Theater has been in the work of racial equity her entire life. She sat down and had a very open and candid conversation with our Janice Shortle on Breaking the News. Sarah offered some great advice. Things like start having those uncomfortable conversations about racism, educating yourself, and be open to listening to others. Now, if you'd like to hear more, which I highly recommend you go watch that whole story, it's posted right now on our website, KARE11.com.